What up, guys? Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, here to bring you this week's manga review segment of Otaku Assemble! Weekly, once again, I'm back to bring you the latest reviews on this week's One Piece and Naruto manga chapters. So, before I get started with my review this week, I want to take this time to thank each and every one of my new subscribers, my new viewers. Wow, I've just been completely blown away this week. This past Sunday I did my my Game of Thrones series premiere review, and man, like the reception on that thing was just out of this world. I mean, in less than a week, it's already my most viewed video. I think it's my highest rated video. The reception is just phenomenal. So I want to thank anyone who watched that vid, anybody who saw my Game of Thrones review. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for all the comments. Just so you guys know, I was only spoiled with one thing, which I'm pretty sure I was going to find out in the next episode. I stayed away from the spoilers. I can't even look at the comments section on that vid anymore because there's so many spoilers. But I want to thank all those viewers. I want to thank all my new subscribers. Phenomenal. I think the username is Fire and Blood on the official Game of Thrones fan page, winteriscoming.net. I want to thank you for writing the article on me, man. I'm just mind blown right now. I'm mind blown. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I want to thank all you guys so much. Thank you guys so very much. And yes, I will be doing weekly Game of Thrones episode reviews. I have to now. I said I wouldn't do it. Well, I said I might not do it, but I mean, the reception in the thousands. They responded in the thousands. You all responded in the thousands. I got to do it for you. I have to. So expect weekly Game of Thrones episode reviews Sunday right here on Otaku Assemble Weekly, courtesy of YouTube. But so let's get into some manga, man. Let's get into some manga. Okay, so let's kick things off with One Piece. Now, this week's One Piece manga chapter, chapter 622, entitled The Sun Pirates, wasn't that great of a chapter title, but let's get into the chapter. So, we're still in the flashback, and we picked up where we left off last chapter with the formation of the Sun Pirates. Now, in this chapter, pretty much, the Sun Pirates, they've been on the seas, they've been doing their thing, they've been freeing slaves, and they've already garnered a reputation by the Navy of being troublesome for that. They're going around, they're freeing slaves. I said the Marines, Navy, same difference. The world government, they're frowning upon that. So pretty much, what we do is we first we're back in Fishman Island when we actually see the meeting that Neptune had with Fisher Tiger, and then we switch back to Queen Otohime, who is still trying to get that petition signed. Now as far as what's going on with Queen Otohime and that petition, to me it seems like she's trying to force people to do it. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of feeling this. I'm kind of feeling this detachment from this character, because they said that Queen Otohime was, she was so compassionate, and she wanted so much for her fellow fishmen, and she cared so much for her people. But the way she's going about getting the petition signed, to me it doesn't come across as if she's doing it the right way. It's almost as if she's kind of forcing people to do it. And that's not the legit way to do it. If you really want people to feel this way and you really want them to care about something, then there are better ways to doing it than just say, hey, you sign this. You don't get your point across like that. So I don't know, maybe that's just something I'm misunderstanding, but I think Oda, either he needs to put more into it instead of just showing her, hey, sign this petition. Instead of showing her just doing that, maybe we need to see something else. Maybe we need to see a little bit more of her. What we saw in last week's chapter with the introduction when she was talking to the petty thief on the street, that was good. Maybe if we saw more of that type of stuff. So that's what the Queen's been doing in this chapter. Now, as far as the Sun Pirates, like I said, they've been on the seas. They've been freeing slaves. But not too long after, they've been doing their escapades, like I said, it gets back to the Marines, and we saw, I believe that was Admiral Kizaru that we saw, a young version of him. I'm almost positive that was him, because he looks like a mobster, man. He looks like a straight freaking, like a mafia tycoon. Even back then, had the fedora, the sideburns and everything, it had had the little coat draped on his shoulders, you dig? But pretty much what they were talking about, like now the Sun Pirates have become a threat. And apparently, like they're just getting word of it. They don't even know how strong the Sun Pirates are yet. So, pretty much, I guess they're getting ready to they're trying to test the waters, trying to fill out how strong this crew really is before they decide to preemptive strike them. Which is smart, otherwise you go into a battle unprepared and you wind up getting raped. But they do have the Marines' attention now, and they will have the world's government attention by now, most definitely. So what's actually going on with the Sun Pirates? Now, in a fight with a Marine ship, we saw that Arlong was, he was just slaughtering humans. And Fisher Tiger had to stop him. He had to explain to him, yo, we don't kill humans. That's not what we're in this game for. We're all about liberation and freedom. We're not taking lives. We're not taking human lives, because the second we take human lives, we are no better than they are. And I must applaud Fisher Tiger. He's a phenomenal fucking character. He really is. That is the mark of a true hero. I mean, we see earlier in the chapter when they do when they go back to Fishman Island, we see the fishermen oh yeah, Fisher Tiger, he's our hero, he's freeing the slaves. And then we even saw Hody Jones and the new Arlong pirates when they were little, when they were younger, yeah, Fisher Tiger, woo, Sun Pirates, yeah. But they're not getting the just of his heroics, they're not getting the gist of his heroics. Yeah, sure, he's freeing these slaves, and even some of them yeah, slaughter the humans, but that's not his goal. He's after peace. He's after liberty. He's after freedom. That's what he wants. It's not about taking lives, and I have to applaud him for that. I mean, that shows the mark of that's true character. That is. So of course he gets in an argument with Arlong, because Arlong's completely against that. And Jinbei, I think we start seeing where Jinbei fits into where he fits into this dynamic, because he's kind of the middleman now. You have Arlong at one extreme, you got Fisher Tiger at the other. Jinbei's kind of in the middle. Before he was feeling Arlong, but now he's kind of feeling Tiger too. So he's kind of seeing both sides of the coin. He's trying, he's evaluating what's the best course of action. And we finally see that when towards the end of the chapter we get introduced to this slave girl who apparently Fisher Tiger had already freed. By now the flashback has moved up 3 years also. And so they decide to take her on board to bring her back to her family. And Arlong, of course, he treats her like trash. Why? Because she's a human. He immediately thinks she's beneath him. But Jinbei, he's kind of okay, he's trying to feel her out. He's okay, well, hey, Arlong, cool it, you're taking it a little bit too serious. Let's see what's going on with this little girl. And she has completely she's completely desensitized to this thing, which is horrible. This is a little child who's completely desensitized to the beating. She's forced herself to not be able to cry, to not be able to show emotion, because slaves weren't able to do that. You had to work all day, no breaks, you die. You cry, you die. They beat you. It's a horrific thing. But she said she's afraid of the fishermen, but she's going to she's going to get the courage to see this thing through so that she can get back to her family. And the chapter closes out with Fisher Tiger pretty much you know, he's doing it as now. Yeah, it is a little stern. It's kind of it's a little on the harsh side, but I mean, he's trying to get his point across to this little girl that, hey, you know, you're not marked anymore. You're not being held down by the shackles that you once were. You can feel emotion. You can cry if you want to. He lets her know we're not the same as those people who kept you who held you captive. We're not the same as that. We're better than that. We're bigger than that. And I'm going to show you. He even pulls out his gun and throws it off the ship. It's like, I'm showing you, we're not here to hurt you. We're not going to kill anybody. We're all about liberation and freedom. He is a fucking freedom fighter. And I'm loving his character right now. So I'm make sure I keep my time. I'm loving his character right now. That's where we left off for this week. It was the chapter did kind of start off a little slow, and like I said, you know, with Oda, see, the thing with Oda, you know, it's like I said before, he put so much into a chapter. He put so much content into a chapter, and it is good. Sometimes it can feel cluttered. I thought this chapter was one of those chapters where at times it felt a little cluttered. You know, Oda likes to like some of his panels, he likes to split the panel where, you know, it's still the same picture though. He just has, you know, the hard edge in between. So if you're looking at that as separate panels, you know, it feels a little congested, you know. But if it was one panel, it'd be too blocky. So and then of course the dialogue, you know, in some pages I was trying to keep track of exactly who it was that was speaking. But, you know, that's just Oda's thing, though. I mean, for every fucking One Piece chapter we get, you're getting good fucking material. You're getting a lot of material in only, 16 pages? He doesn't even use up the whole 19 pages like Kishimoto. You know, Naruto chapters usually 18, 19 pages. Oda does it in 15, 16, but you get so much stuff. It's good. It's all good. It was, like I said, it started off slow, but it was still a pretty good chapter. So that's it for this week's One Piece review. Now, on to the Naruto chapter review. Chapter 536, Naruto Goes to War. Yeah, now, as you guys know, let me take a drink before I get into this. Now, as you guys know, I've been kind of fearing this part of the war. You know, just to reiterate, for all of my new viewers, all of my new subscribers who are watching this review, and if you guys are Naruto fans and if you keep up with the manga, pretty much my view of the war so far is that the war started off good. It started off with these individual fights. It gave us an opportunity to see some of these other characters who haven't really had time to shine, but it started getting. The pacing started to fail. I think it felt like this battle, because ideally it's a war, so this is just one battle in many battles that we'll see, and it just dragged. In my opinion, I felt like it's been dragging. I felt like, you know, we haven't seen, you know, certain things that we expect to see we haven't been seeing yet, and I'm thinking that, you know, all of this should happen before Naruto enters the war. Well, Naruto's entering the war now. So far it's been a one-sided war where the allied shinobi forces have been annihilating Kabuto's impure resurrections and the white Zetsus. They've just been annihilating them. We haven't had any major casualties. But, you know, now Naruto's joining the fight. Okay, great. So pretty much we pick up from last chapter where Naruto, you know, Iruka pretty much just lets him go. Naruto escapes the temple. He for some reason he eats the letter that Iruka gave him. I don't know what sense that makes. I don't know. Why would you eat the letter? Okay. So Naruto's heading to the battlefield. We see Killer Bee. Killer Bee, you know, he catches up with Iruka. You know, he pretty much tells him like, yo, you know, you mean the world to Naruto, and you know, you have a place in his heart. So pretty much, I guess that's solidifying the fact that what Iruka wrote in the note telling Naruto to come back alive, he's really taking that to heart. And I think that's what him eating the letter was about. You know, the fact that, yeah, you know, it's a part of me now. I'm going to carry this with me. Okay. Anyway, so then Killer Bee decides that he's going to go ahead and he's going to follow Naruto to the battlefield. Iruka asks him, take care of Naruto while he's out there. So Killer Bee goes out there. Now, you guys are going to have to bear with me because some of you are probably already saying, Larry, you saw this shit coming. I did see this coming. Almost verbatim. Almost verbatim. The second Naruto was going to leave, chances are Killer Bee was going to go with him. And then, I'm going to get to it, but the other fucking prediction that I made fucking happened. Exactly the way I said it would happen. So, well, not exactly. Not exactly, but it still happened nonetheless. Okay, so then we see like Raikage and Tsunade. Apparently they planned like this barrier that was supposed to keep fucking Naruto in, you know, away from the war. Really? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are useless tactics. These are useless tactics. These are retarded. He's the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. You honestly think that barrier is going to be strong enough to hold him? Come on. Give him a little bit more credit than that. And then fucking Killer Bee too. And the guy who was in charge of the barrier squad, he was like, well, no one tell me that, you know, him and Killer Bee would team up. You're telling me you didn't anticipate for that to happen in the first place? You're not a good military leader, dude. If you didn't even think that was a possibility that could happen, you're not a good military leader. You really aren't. A 5-year-old could have told you that. Okay, so yeah, Naruto and Killer Bee escape the barrier. No big fucking surprise here. How are you gonna keep them off the field? Come on. So okay, then we switch back to the feudal lords, which I want to touch on this because we talked about this earlier when we first did the review, when the war first started, how the feudal lords were being protected and how Zetsu was pursuing them. And I think my co-star then, Chris, was like, they're going to use the feudal lords as a bargaining chip. And I was telling him that doesn't make any sense. Why? Because they're irrelevant at this point. Thank you, Madara Uchiha, for fucking saying that. He said it. The fucking feudal lords are feudal at this point. Why? Because the only reason why I was ever going to use them as a bargaining chip was to lure out Naruto and Killer Bee. Now that Naruto and Killer Bee are out on their own, what the fuck do I need the feudal lords for? My thoughts exactly. Duh. Come on, man. So the Black Zetsu, he attempts to attack the feudal lords, runs into the Mizukage and her squad, so now he has to fight them. But before he does, he sends off the message to Madara letting him know, hey, Naruto and Killer Bee are heading towards the battlefield now. So Madara decides, oh, I guess it's time for me to go into the battlefield now too. Did I not say that was going to happen? Now, true, I said it was going to be Sasuke. I didn't say it was going to be Madara. I said it was going to be Sasuke. But I did say that once Naruto and Killer Bee enter the fucking battle, one of them, either Kabuto, himself, Sasuke, or Madara was going to enter the fight. I did say that. I remember saying it. And what happens? Madara fucking teleports right into the fucking battlefield. So you know what's going to happen now? What's going to happen is Naruto and Killer Bee are going to make their way to the battlefield. This is prediction number 1. Naruto and Killer Bee are going to make their way into the battlefield. Madara is already there. Madara is going to wipe the floor with those fuckers on the battlefield just in time for Naruto and Killer Bee to find this great tragedy for Naruto to be all stricken. Oh my god, all my comrades, they've been slaughtered. And it's going to force Naruto and Killer Bee into a fight with Madara and whoever he has with them. And they won't be thinking logically because they're so overwhelmed by emotion. It's like, oh my god, all my comrades. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm not, you will understand my attitude towards the series right now and the war. You know, I mean, I'm a huge Naruto fan. I love the series. I love the manga. I love the mangaka. I love the characters. But to say that this is the great ninja war, it hasn't been living up to its name. It hasn't been living up to its potential, nor has it been living up to the build up. You know, this war has been a year in the making. Last summer in the manga was the Hokage summit where Madara declared war. We've been waiting for this for quite a while now, and it hasn't really been living up to the expectations. Anyway, I'm at 20 minutes right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm getting ready to wrap this video up. So that'll pretty much do it for this week's manga review. Now, next week is Golden Week in Japan, which means there won't be any new manga, which is fine. Why? Because next week is when I plan to do, technically speaking, this would be the second quote-unquote manga of the month, which has now been retitled, First Impressions manga. Okay, let me hurry up and explain this. Okay, if you guys remember a few months back, we did the first manga of the month segment which is where we looked at a manga that we normally don't read, that we've never read, that we don't know anything about the source material. And we give our first impressions on it. We did it with Black Butler. We did it with both the anime and the manga. And since I've been doing the channel solo, I've pretty much I've kept the same concept, but I've kind of revamped it a little bit and just called it Manga First Impressions. So next week, because of Golden Week, I'm going to do my first solo Manga First Impressions vid, and I will be reviewing Siren. Now, keep in mind, it is a first impression review, so it'll only be like the first few chapters, but I will be giving my first impressions thought on the manga Siren. Other than that, stay tuned for the Naruto Shippuden anime review. I have my weekly Game of Thrones review. That's coming later this week. And I also have the rant is back. I shit you not. There will be a rant this week. I guarantee it. Even if I have to do it by myself. There will be a rant this week. And to address the whole rant issue, unfortunately, I didn't get enough reception for the WWE rant to redo it. I just didn't. I really wish I could, but I just didn't really get enough reception for people who really wanted to see that review enough to redo it. But this week, rant. The Hollywood rant. My problems with Hollywood. Long anticipated, long overdue. And that will be coming this week. So, I want to take this time to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for staying through this video, man. It's like at 22 minutes. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for subscribing, commenting. Comment, rate, subscribe. And this is Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I'm signing off, and I'll catch you cats next week. Peace.